Just stick the pumpkin spice right in my veins, baby, because it is fall. And here's 5 things you can expect from the fall market in the Niagara region. Number 1, you should actually see a hot pre-sale market, especially those that are in pre-construction or those that are about to be constructed in any subdivisions or townhomes or anything that's going on in Niagara. Those are usually relatively popular for the long run, but also for right now in the fall for people that were probably looking at resale homes in the spring and summer but got beat out and now they have to reset their clock. You can get in at a relatively small deposit and then you can wait a year or 2 for it to actually be built and actually do the move. This option is actually pretty enticing for first-time home buyers that might not have the initial deposit amount that most sellers are looking for, where you can end up getting a pre-sale home at a smaller deposit and then you have more time to build up your down payment. Same thing goes for people that are selling their homes but may need more time to get their home ready for market. You can purchase a pre-sale home with an initial deposit relatively simply, and then that way a year and a half or 2 years down the road when the development is actually ready to be finalized, you have all that time available to you to get your home ready to be listed. So there's a lot of factors that could end up pushing that pre-sale home market into the stratosphere come the fall. Number 2, the amount of demand out there is going to continue to outpace the amount of supply. That's not new news. That was happening in the summer as well, although we were seeing the gap between new listings and the amount of sales getting wider and wider since midsummer up until August. We see that a lot of businesses starting to pick up now after school's been in for about 2 weeks or so. And as we continue to go in, we'll see the fall market continue to grow. But there will still be a lot of demand from people that are looking to tie up any loose ends before the end of the year. So you'll see a lot of buyers trying to rush and trying to get something done before the winter time hits. But the amount of listings that are going to come up may be kind of slim. You're probably only going to get a bunch of fixer-uppers, people that have to sell versus they want to sell, and investment properties. So if you're a first-time homebuyer and investor, this is probably a good market for you, but you might be clawing tooth and nail trying to get something done. Number 3, interest rates. They will continue to fuel the fires of demand. Lots of murmurs going on about interest rates possibly going up next year. So there's a lot of people that are looking to try and lock in a good interest rate, right? So right now is a relatively good interest rate as I'm speaking right now. But to be honest, this has been good for years. Now that we're in a point where they're possibly going to go up in 2022, you got a lot of people that are trying to lock something in for a good 3, 4, 5 years on a mortgage. So you might see that being a deciding factor for a lot of people. I see a lot of people doing the move up now where they had a starter for about 5 or 6 years. They want to be able to move up at a lower interest rate so they can lock that in for another 5 years. And that's probably going to be a big factor of how busy it's going to be in the market. And just a little word of caution, because I think when people hear that interest rates are going to go up, people get a little freaked out that they're going to skyrocket up. That's not necessarily the case. It's always going to be a slow build, and it only really increases every quarter or so. So it's not all of a sudden it's going to double in the next 6 months. That can't happen. If in order for it to double, it's going to take years for that to happen. So don't freak out. Don't have an anxiety attack. Don't feel like that you need to lock something in now. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that feel like they want to lock something in now before they start going up to get the best bang for their buck. Number 4, and a lot of people are probably going to hate it when I say this, but there's going to be an influx of more buyers hitting the Canadian housing market, whether they be buyers or renters. The reality is that there's more people getting out of their parents' basements and trying to hit the pavement and trying to get something bought, right? Although that's a tough go. On top of that, immigration is continuing to roll on as we essentially welcome up to 400,000 immigrants every year for the next couple of years, right? So those people would need to find some place to live. And in most cases, the majority of those people are going to be looking at the rental market. So unfortunately, the rental market is going to spike. There will be a need for affordable rentals for people. So if you're out there as an investor, this is now the time to really look at investment opportunities for rental properties and offer affordable rentals for renters to live in. Because let's be honest, this is people's lives. They need somewhere to live. You can't gouge them and try and make a buck on them. These are people, right? They're not commodities. So please treat them like human beings. Number 5, and some of you buyers might not want to hear this, but the quality of offers will essentially stay the same. Market price for homes in Niagara have been relatively steady since essentially the beginning of summer. the amount of offers that have been coming in. Sometimes there's competition, sometimes they're not, but essentially the ones that are selling are pretty much selling at asking or sometimes over asking. Not too many conditions out there, sometimes financing. If you're lucky, you get a home inspection, but there's not too many home inspections going on out there. Some of my home inspector buddies say that they're semi-retired since the beginning of the year. But that's the reality of the market, is if you're coming in hot, you're coming in strong with these offers, that's what the sellers kind of expect. They're coached that way. They're in the seller's market. They have the commodity that you want. So they're essentially getting the numbers that they're looking for, if not more. That's not to say that you can just go and list your house for any price and it would sell. Those homes are still out there on the market right now. When you end up reaching 2, 3, 4 weeks on the market, you know that something's wrong, and it usually has something to do with the price. So not everything is selling, but the things that are selling are usually accepting those top quality offers. So it's important to always get a pre-approval in place before you start hitting the pavement. Do your due diligence as best as you can during these showings. There's pre-inspections available for those properties if you are very interested, so you can come in clean with those offers. And just open communication between your buyer agent and your seller agent goes a long way as far as putting a deal together. So that's what you can expect in the upcoming fall market in Niagara. Do you agree, or do you think I'm full of shit? Let me know in the comments. Feel free to be open and honest. I mean, I'm here open and honest with you. Check out some of our other videos. Lots of great content available to all of you out there that are curious about the Niagara market. Always trying to keep you informed. If you have any suggestions of other videos that we should be doing, feel free to let us know, because we make these for you. Thanks for watching.